Hello and welcome. My name is Trismegistus, and today we're going to be playing some more Factorio. It's the parameterization series, but I've kind of finished the parameterization series, apart from not having put into blueprints all of the parameters. Why is the Twitch not showing? It is there. Why is that not updating then? No, that's fine. That's good. Monitoring is okay. Let's just have a look, see if audio is working. Yes, it is. Cool. So, yes, I say we sort of finished the what I wanted to do in the parameterization series, mostly. Get the windows all set up. There we go. Cool, cool. And during the week, I did play a little bit, and you can kind of tell that because the pollution cloud is basically gone, because the base isn't doing any science. It's not doing any significant material production, you know, just a tiny little bit where I'm messing about with rails and stuff. So all the pollution's pretty much gone, which is always a weird thing to see with such a big base. But yeah, what I've done, I got a bit carried away in that I mostly worked on the rail side of things, and I kind of optimized it a bit, which means it's now incompatible with the current rail setup, which therefore means my idea of testing this might be a bit more painful than I was, expecting, because I basically have to tweak it all so that it'll fit into this old system. I can show you what it looks like if we run up here. It's a very small set of tweaks in the main. But also making it... The idea is I'm going to carry this into the next series and possibly use it kind of forever. So this is the station blueprint, which, as you can see, probably doesn't look any different to what you're thinking. But if we pop that down and we kind of copy paste this one, you will see that there have been some tiny, tiny tweaks. So this is the older one. And you can see the rail is ever so slightly wider apart. The reason for that being that I discovered in this design that the roboport meant that chests loading or unloading here and here, there specifically, were not covered by the roboport. It was just like one tile. It's always one tile off, isn't it? So that I've moved it in, but also then I took the chance to add on all the red and green wire and etc. And this is a tiny bit more optimal in that the trains will kind of, instead of waiting here, they'll wait down here, which means their passage through this junction, horrible as it is, will be a lot quicker. But yes, mostly around putting these on, and then I've kind of done some... Obviously, I've then done the individual versions, but I've done some sort of optimized versions. So this is the loading station, and this is a generic system now. Like almost completely generic. You have to tell it what you're loading. So, for example, this one we're doing would be iron plate, but that doesn't change. We have now a generic train stop name. Where it's putting that in is... Where is it putting that in? Why did you ask me that? I thought these were completely independent now. Oh, there we go. So it's getting a signal to do with what it's meant to be, like, that's arriving here. But it enables and disables the station because it now pairs. I don't think this is like an ideal solution, because I think there's a very good chance they're going to end up with a lot of trains with stuff on them that end up sat, like, not going anywhere. I think it should be okay, like, in the long run, but there's a risk that... So basically, that's a pickup station. As you can see, I've built one, for yellow belts, and then there's, and just to show you, there's then, say, a red belt version. Let's do iron plates again, with more, it's got higher level inserters, more chests, so it has more throughput. The reason for this weirdness of design is because if we go to the blue belt one, well, you notice also it now fits, but it can do both sides, and it fits multiple in. It'll always fit the station in. There's no fiddling about. That also means it has to go around this roboport. And it's also doing balancing. So effectively a blue belt would come in, and then it's being evenly split across all 6 chests here. And that's why you get, you know, so that it's upgradable. I've just, you know, I can literally, you know, Control Shift and that'll replace everything. There's not anything left, you know, not completed, as it were. So that's the idea with that. The drop-off station, though, is kind of where the magic happens. So imagine this is a station where we want to drop off iron plate. That does have the name because the trains are going to use the generic, you know, thing in order to do the. I've now got cargo. So here you go. This has got the generic drop-off. So it's saying I've now got cargo. You know, and it'll fill that in once it's got the appropriate cargo and go to that station. So these do have to have the names, which is what you'd expect, you know. I'm still going to be doing a system where, you know, if I want to make, you know, sticks, as it were, for that's not purple, is it? This is purple. Is that purple? Yeah, purple. Sticks for this. Then I need iron plate, so I know where it's dropping off iron plate. It does have things like, as I say, I did get quite carried away. So it's got like upgraders and stuff. I think somewhere in there. Maybe I think actually that'd be just a normal upgrader. No, I haven't got them actually. That's the point. So I could make it. You know, I think I need a separate one actually. Don't know. We could maybe do that. But it'd be one where you would have storage chests instead. So basically, I need to put those on. Do a blueprint that's parameterized that lets me set the limits and stuff, or set the filter. So yeah, we could just quickly do that. In fact, we might as well do it now, because it's just the chests, and they need to be green wire connected to everything. Like so. We then need to set some filter. I don't care about limiting them. I'm going to hope and pray that all this balancing will kind of sort itself out, but we shall see. So I'm going to copy that all in there. Then we want to take a blueprint and we want to parameterize it. Do we want the rail in there? I guess it's probably appropriate to have it in there, isn't it? Yeah. So we want that to be a parameter. And we want to set that to be what? It's the chest filter. Yeah. So we would do that. We need to set, if I make that a station, so that would change it into chests. So I just call it loggy chests. Oops, don't need a symbol. No, yeah, okay. So then if I pop this down here, for example, yeah, ask me what it wants. Steel, say. So whether it's a pickup or a drop off, that'll work because they're both going to end up with six things. Cool. Okay, so that was a nice quick job done. Let's get rid of all of them. So, bosh, bosh, bosh. Awesome. Did we put it in? No, I did not put it in my book. So that genericizes the, or adds, doesn't genericize it, adds on the things. Obviously, I'd have to work out what it was, because you can't set the filter with the thing. But anyway, so the point is, what I was trying to get to, and this should be connected because the flashing's driving me nuts, is that I haven't bothered sending the signal to the trains. I think that would be the actual solution. But I didn't end up doing that because I did this and I kind of figured, well, maybe this should work. And we'll just kind of have to see, basically. If it doesn't, I'll have to do another version. But basically the trains now have this pickup condition. And the pickup condition is based on, well, they have to be empty, but also that there is a pickup station that's saying, please come and pick up my stuff. Now, they're all pickup stations from now on will be called this. They won't be given a specific name. And when it arrives, of course, it will load in whatever's there, and the genericize the drop-off will auto-color it, and then they'll go to the right stop. So that side of it should work fine. The sort of trick that I'm trying to do is basically that what this does, there's an extra combinator on the drop-off that says I want iron plate, basically, and how much iron plate I want. So what I'm doing in this set of signals is saying, you know, I've set, when I put the thing down, I'll be able to say how many train loads I want to be arriving at this station. And so this combinator sets this station to have that number of stops. So if we've got a train's worth and we want 3 trains worth, it sets it to be L equals 2. So it says I need 2 trains worth of material to be dropped off. What it now does with this part here is sends that same signal to the network. But of course I've done L, a generic, you know, the L for live station thing, and I have to convert it into whatever I actually want dropped off here. So basically this sends a signal that I'm now sending into the radar. So it goes out. So we should have a signal here. Why is it? Oh, there you go. So when you hover over the radar, it didn't tell you what signals it said in and received it, which is a bit weird. But basically it's saying, can I have 3 iron plates trains, please? Okay. So obviously that will change depending on what I set the station as, but it'll automate itself. And those will sum across the entire system. So if we want 20 trains worth of iron plate, then 20 will be the signal. Okay. And that's where ideally I'd want to be doing some sort of filtering, because all of the pickups, what they now have is a connection to the radar here, and the actual station itself has the condition here, because it's an iron plate pickup, saying, right, if iron plate demand is above 0, turn this station on. Now how much it's got in it is still determined by this combinator. This combinator says, you know, and that's where the other reason for having the setting the type, because obviously the stack size changes and all that sort of rubbish. But basically if it's filled up with 12 trains worth of stuff, it will then have a train limit of 12. So in theory, I mean, it couldn't, I don't think, fit that much in. But if it had that much stuff, then, you know, it would have a thing, which is a question I've got, basically. Because as I make these 12 chests on a side, I think actually, yeah, therefore, I could, in theory, have more than 12. So maybe I should be limiting these chests. I don't know. What I don't have is any kind of prioritization, so there's no, like, what I would also want to do really is distance prioritization. I think I would probably do that manually. I couldn't think of a way, because what I'd ideally want is something where it says, right, we want 3 trains, only open up enough slots for 3 trains. But then I kind of figured, well, what if that's one station? Because it's not, what we really want is parallelizing. We want 3 trains going to different stops, all loading up at the same time, all arrive, descending on this station, so that all the stuff is there. And I couldn't really get my head around the circuit network stuff to do that, basically. So that's why we've got this sort of maybe it'll work system, which is, I think I'm going to have to test that in the next playthrough, because I can't really, well, I could, but I don't really want to retrofit all of the other stuff to do this. You know, the station design is different. What I could do is just for this station, because it's the generic pickup name, you see, is I could set something up. So this is iron plate, this station. We could give it the generic pickup name, and I could, you know, connect it all up, wire it up like that, and then have a generic train on the system, or several, and then have a demand for them that uses that, you know, dynamic system. The problem is I've got enough trains, so I don't have any, like, spare, you know, untapped demand, effectively. So we'd probably have to set up maybe a steel processing here or something like that, so that we've got an artificial demand extra. But then there's a very good chance that the other trains will turn up and fulfill it. So then do we separate? Do you know what I mean? It got really... I was like, well, why don't I just, you know, play properly, play the game again sort of thing. So yeah, so that's what I've been busy doing. What else did I do in this set? It's got all sorts of... oh, there's now a more codified way of doing a depot. So this is the depot starter. We can pop this down. So we pop this in here. This would be what it would be for yellow when we're at yellow belts and we're using coal or something like that. And they just fill up a chest. Excuse me. And I can extend that as much as I like. Why is that not on... I must have picked it up manually. Oh, I've done it for fluids as well. It's the same sort of thing. But then I've got this here, as I say, is my sort of extender. It's an extender. So I can just add on as many as I like. You know, however many trains we want to try and store. You notice them queuing up type of thing. But then it's got a kind of adapter, basically. So what does this do? This one deletes out the belts. And then that one swaps it all to logging. So basically we would go... obviously, you know, we're going to be doing it from a map in reality. And then we will get that. We replace the chests. Like so. This just makes them... What level is that? So that is the nuclear fuel. Interesting. Interesting. So what I've also got is you can actually replace. So when you have this down here, look, so this has now got the fuel setting in it. You can use a fuel upgrade planner to change the fuel type, which I didn't know. Just sort of stumbled on that messing about, really. So that should allow me, say this blueprint should really be, this one should really have, it wouldn't be filled, would it be filtered? No, it'd be the request. So you can't parameterize requests. Interesting. Yeah, we'll redo that one then. Let's pop that down. Because this should be the lower level fuel. I don't know what it would actually be. What's the filter? I put that on there, so that would be... I guess by the time I got to loggy, I'd probably be doing trains. And we'd want like 60, wouldn't we? That. And then, so I guess that one's... Oh, because that upgrades the inserters as well. But the basic idea of this is I had a lot of manually messing about taking stuff out of trains. And this basically unloads the train. So if they turn up, you know, without any fuel, basically, or with a small amount of fuel in them, then, you know, they should do their... They should automatically be emptied using that system. So yeah, so I've done some stuff. I've been busy. I've also decided I'm just going to have the upgraded T-junction. I think that's pretty much it. The depot. Yeah, so that's kind of what I've been busy doing. And as I say, I got a bit carried away in the new upgraded train blueprint. And it's now incompatible, so yeah, not quite sure how we're going to test it. So what I think we might do is if we cut off, you know, sort of here maybe, and then maybe I could add in, we could have a depot basically. So if we get a T-junction there, say, put the depot on this side. Where is it? There it is. That. I will... that's the upgrade. That's the final one. In fact, let's use that. Get rid of that. I do end up with randomly like 2 inserters just sort of sat there. It's kind of is what it is, really. Just get rid of them manually. What we'll also do, we'll send over the guys to build that in. And then we'll put a... because this is what we can do. In fact, actually, let's put the trains in. We can... we get rid of, say, that. I could, in fact, I can use the new station on this. I can test whether... I don't want to put a depot. I don't want to put a stacker. If we're doing literally 2 trains, I don't think it matters, does it? So that'll do it there. And then this. So what we'll be doing, we'll be dropping off. In fact, let's do all 4 stations. So that's good. And then these would be, maybe if I just nominally put, so this can be the pickup. Get it the right way around. So this could be, in fact, no, let's do that one. That's a pickup for steel. And then this would be a drop off. Is that the blue one? Yeah, that's the right one. Drop off iron plate, say. Iron plate. And plate. So if we then add in. Are you guys not? You're not doing anything. You're on strike or something. We add in. What's it going to do here? It's going to add on. In fact, we probably want more trains, don't we? Really. Let me test it properly. Maybe if we do 4. And then I want that one. I'm not sure they'll get any fuel in, but we'll see what happens. I say you have to kind of tweak that. But yes, I was going to put in T-Rains. We'll find them. So the generic now, basically. So these trains. Oops. Oh, of course, I've got the rail underneath, haven't I? Ah. I think that's the wrong place to do that. Why is that not lined up properly? I guess because the station's not there, it's not clipping to it. Maybe will you guys put a station in for me? No, it's already queued up. Okay, but it won't. Right, so I've clicked it. Okay. So it's basically clipping to the thing. But yeah, they don't have any specific, whatchamacallit, name. And we're going to have one pickup there, and then I guess we should turn these into pickup. So the change we need to do is what? I mean, first off, we need to... These are all already connected, but let's make sure all green wires everywhere. And all red wires. That side of things. I think we can then go to there, there, there. So if I kind of copy that part, and that part, and then this one needs to go there, and so back to there, there. Okay, now the drop-off stations, no, pickup stations. Let's just put one in. We can copy it. Oh, we're getting an attack, are we? Oh, I left them there, and occasionally they'll have a pop at one of the loggy lots. I'm just going to leave them to have their fun, basically. And then it's the chest, so it would be a pickup, wouldn't it? So the logic I need to put in is it's basically on the station. So I think if we do that, put that there, and give it a red wire. 12,000? How are you getting a signal of 12,000? Hmm. 12,000. Wonder where I'm putting that into. Oh, it's because it's not. Well, it is. That's connected to. Oh, I see. Why is that connected to the. Hmm. Is that in my general design? No. Wonder how that's happened then. Just error, I think. Yeah, it should be connected to the radar. There we go. So we've got a demand for 9 iron plates because we've got 3 stations here, each demanding 3. I don't remember setting that number. Why have I not? Why is it not asking me? It's asking me what it wants to put in. It's not asking me this number, and it should be. Okay. Because I don't want everything everywhere dropping off 3 train loads. So why are you not asking me the 3 number? Because it's not ticked as a parameter. I see. And then this is the drop. That's interesting that it's lost those. I wonder if there's any other errors like that. So L is the station, A is in the maths, isn't it? This should be based on. So it appears to have lost all of the maths. Interesting. That should. Why the fifth? Why have you got 50? Train stop. Oh, that's just the priority limit. Yeah. So that one should be a parameter, and it should be based on P0, and it should be the stack size times 40. Because we've got 40 slots in the train, and the stack size is whatever the stack size is, so that's the maximum amount we can hold, and that's so that it can do the maths to work out how many trains we've got, or how many trains worth of stuff we've got. It's interesting it's lost those. That makes me wonder whether... No, so the only thing I'm concerned about really is having these chests just infinitely fill up, and that we would end up with, 12 trains, well, it'd be more than 12 trains, trying to get to the one station. Because it'll basically turn them on, and if they got 12 trains worth of stuff, there's a risk that 12 trains will try and go there. Yeah, I think I'm going to limit these. I'm just not happy with that as a thing. But that does mean we need to place these down on top again, don't we? So we need to go... These are my drop-offs. Yeah, so I need to do that. Let's leave it as the 3. And see what happens. In fact, let's make this a 2. Okay. Yeah, I don't like that being unlimited, I've decided. So, we booked 2 trains, which don't have any fuel. Because why not? Why have you been built without the fuel demand? I suppose that's partly... In reality, I would be using these... Yeah, I would actually be upgrading the blueprint. So it probably wouldn't arise like this. And I've also used the wrong one there. Because they would be filtered, so it wouldn't be able to put them in, basically. Also, this should be nuclear fuel. So I've used the wrong one. Okay. So it should actually be like that. I bet they don't have a... Oh no, trash on... Huh, that's not taken. Have I... What have I... Hang on. So that's the final. That's the conversion. And this is the final. So that's that. Ah, I know. So it's the wrong way around, basically, isn't it? That was the actual error. I probably renamed them incorrectly. So this one should be this one then. So the final one with the... I don't really need that, do I, if I'm using the upgrade? But I suppose I do because of the takeout thing. Now, are you now requesting? You are. Cool. Let's get the bots up there. We want to build some nominal thing here. Making the steels. Is that the steel one? I think that's the steel one. It goes. We've got input is because it's like a flow through design, so I'll have to like, turn the belts round. But we can have it come in. Only needs 2, doesn't it? I guess we could build 2 of them. It's a little difficult to think about this in terms of the playthrough is done and I'm now just testing. Okay, so we would have enormous output here, but we would want 4 there. So if we do a 6-to-4 balancer, 6-to-4 balancer, but that's a there. Yeah, I'm not going to do that. Nothing should happen at all because the pickup station for iron plate is... What have we done there? Well, the mining for iron plate is completely deactivated, so... Oops. Okay. Actually, let's take them nice and close there. In fact, only really produces a red belt worth. But if we do it as... I was quite impressed with this design when I did it. Quite impressed with it, yeah. Right, like that. Cool. See if they'll build any of that. This is disconnected from the main net. No, the logistics network's still connected, isn't it? It's the trains I've disconnected. Cool, okay. Now, do you clip properly to this? Yes, you do. Cool. I'll have to wait for it to fail to build it. Because what I'm kind of hoping... I pet these too high, really, haven't I? To for it to do that. I guess eventually they'll sort of completely empty. But what I'm sort of hoping is that eventually one will switch on to doing... I won't have to do a new train in order for that to, you know, switch to steel. I don't have a demand for steel though, do I? So that at the moment will never turn on. That's the worms having some fun again. So what we can do is... What can we do? Maybe... Maybe what? I was thinking, if I convert one of these to a drop-off for steel. Yeah, let's do that. So if we convert one of these to a drop-off for steel. Where's that? See. Drop-off, there we go. So we want to drop off steel, and then we need to connect it up so as it's not properly done. So this should be demanding, yeah, so this is demanding 3 steels into the network, and the others are demanding 8 irons into the network. We've got the white science because that's how I'm controlling these. This is my first test case. Cool, so we need to turn this on, and then start making iron plate, and iron plate demand will suddenly appear. I might fill this in here so that one of them fills up a bit quicker. Cool. So let's connect it up. And in the meantime, oh, we don't have any stuff. Oh, of course, they're not powered, are they? So these robot ports are not going to be requesting anything. In fact, they're not connected, I don't think, are they? No, they're not. Oh, and there's not even... Huh. These designs do need some tweaking, so not... We've got one... Oh, no, it's because it's every other one. But yeah, we need this. In fact, it wants to be sort of there-ish, doesn't it? There-ish. Should connect it all up. Yeah, and then the system bots will build the rest. Let's pop you somewhere where you can get restocked. I didn't copy the name down, did I? So if we go, let's get the wire as well. There we go. So, in theory, those are all wired in, aren't they? Ah, there's no combinator and stuff, is there? Of course. We're not actually sending the signal. What would it be? It'd be that. Whoops. Need it to be iron plate. See, as a test case, this is rubbish. So what we need to do... Yeah, actually... in fact, if I copy all of that like that... think that then works? Because it's got the wire connection to the power pole as well. Oh, there we go. There's AN train. Nice. Hello, AN train. And all 3 trains. Lovely. In fact, didn't we build 4 trains? Where's 4th train gone? Oh, you've gone to... Why have you gone to pick up? Huh. Why would this go here? Because it's not got anything in. This should be outputting 0, basically. Train limit 1. Why are you outputting an L of 1? Set train limit L. That combinator is not sending a signal. That combinator is not sending a signal, but is it getting an L? It's getting an L of 1 from somewhere else. Why is that? I guess it's coming in via... Is it one of these? Maybe this is more to do with my... I mean, these should be red and... shouldn't be red and green anyway, should they? I'm guessing the L is being transferred via that red wire. Is that how I've done it in the actual state? It is, so that's wrong, isn't it? What we should really do, in order to separate them, we should have a green wire. So it still get the signal and understand it, but it's not on the same network. Yeah, okay, I think that's one of what I'm sure is very many errors. So if we go like that, we should be able to fix... If I do that, will it get rid of the red wire? No, it will not get rid of the red wire. Okay, so we have to do that manually. So an L signal should not be making it. Yeah, there are no L signals. There are a signal 3 steel. Uh-huh. So is this station open? No, it's closed. So if we send you home, we'll send you to the depot, and you can rethink your life choices. This station should, yeah, 0 of 0, excellent. But I do need to fix that, don't I? That shouldn't be. That should be green doing that. And I also need to do it in the blueprint. Which I fixed there, cool, so we can redo that one. Is it the pickup? It is the pickup. It's all of them, isn't it, as well? I've made that error multiple times. Excellent. Love it when a plan comes together. So that's the red belt one, so pull that iron plate again. That's the yellow belt one. That iron plate again. I think what I'm going to do as well, while I've got them here, while I've got you here, how about we also cap the chests? So we've done that one already, haven't we? Because I don't really want... Well, I think it'd be about 15 trains worth of stuff at each station. Because I don't want any risk of 15 trains being requested. So... what would the maths be? Hello, PC Doc. Welcome, welcome. Opu, is this train station design? It's not meant to be. I kind of designed the stations. I'm now bug fixing them. That's what we're trying to do now. I'm noticing trains going back and forth, which is kind of remarkable. I thought we would not even get that far. They're not making steel because reasons. Oh! What's happened there? What? Oh! This... Oh. I think there's need. I've put in the iron ore to steel design, not the... Okay. So that's not very good, isn't it? A quick fix to that, though, is simply like belt up there, belt up there, belt up there, belt up there. What's that way? You can get rid of that. In fact, why don't I get the lads to do it? So this would be, if I just sort of do that. Yeah, I put in the wrong one, basically. As you do. So it's very difficult to think in terms of bug fixing this rather than building the actual thing. But there we go. So that should eventually get the steel moving to that station. And we should find out what happens. At some point, does a train decide to go to steel when there's enough steel, basically? Finally got around to progressing in Satisfactory. Oh, right, okay. Where have you got to? I think I'm going to hiatus my series because I don't fancy just grinding out. I mean, I could do, but the honest truth is no one's really watching. Apologies if people... the handful of people that are watching that are watching. And it does get a few views on catch-up sort of thing, but... yeah, I think there's no real interest in me playing or bumbling my way through the bits of Satisfactory I haven't a clue about. But also, as I keep saying, I need to do the grind, basically, to do what I want to do. So that's got the formula in. So where's that one? Well, but yeah, I suspect what I'll do is next week we'll start a Space Age playthrough using these parameterized blueprints. And I'll do that on both Saturday and Sunday for a bit, while I summon up the nerve to grind out what I want to do in Satisfactory, and then I'll bring it back, and it's a bit more like a functioning base. I won't do any of the space elevator stuff or anything like that. I just find it very, very grindy, and I just don't. It's probably a big part of it is a lack of familiarity. I didn't set the chest, did I? So why am I redoing the blueprints? Let's do that then. So what did I want to do? Say if we're at yellow, well, we're only delivering 15 items. Set each of these to just over a thing. Then that's one train's worth. Do we want one train's worth? Probably do want 2 trains worth. Let's be very, very generous. So we do that one. Cool. We can now do the blueprint. And parameterize that. 2, got the wrong things. There, put it above. Just because I like the neatness and tidiness. Cool, so that's the yellow one. Fixed in quotes. We will find out all the errors that I've actually done later. I probably need a super... No, the pre-combinator version, you can just slap it down sort of thing, can't I? Yeah, so if we then say, if we say that we want none of these to have, well, we're probably, as we get to red belt, we probably do want to be able to handle more trains, but we're spreading it across more chests. So so that would be 1 train's worth. If for all 4, so that's 1 train's worth there, with a bit of buffer, so it could do the maths a bit easier. It doesn't need to be perfectly swinging in exactly the right amounts. So that's 1 train, so it would be then 2 trains. So if I wanted, say, 3 trains of capacity, it would be half as much again. Okay. So now for this, if we want 4 trains worth of capacity, do we want 4 trains worth of capacity? No, I think I'm going to stick with 3, which would mean what? I've got 6 trains, so it'd be 8. So 2, 4, wouldn't it be a bit off, wouldn't it? So it'd be, so we go, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so that would work. So 6 chests doing that. 2, 3, 4, and then 2, 4, 6, 8. Should really, I guess, should be slightly higher so that we have that little bit extra. But that would get me 1 carriage worth, so I then need to go... so we've got 2, so it would be there, I think. So that's... we would have 6 stops of that, which is a train and a half, and then we got 1, 2, 3, 4. In fact, probably get away with that. Cool. Oops! Oh god, I don't know what even disconnected there. Power line? Maybe? Yeah, power line, I think. I'm about 20 fused modular frames short of finishing the final milestone of Tier 8. Right now I'm working on EM control rods, so I guess the next thing for me to do is re-automate adaptive control units to get assembly director systems up and running. We say some very weird things when playing these games. I'm using and abusing summer sloops in my supercomputer process. I've literally just unlocked the SAM stuff, because I think the SAM stuff is where you get into the summer sloops, isn't it? Are they like, is it prod bonus basic? Oh, look! I've missed it, but we have had a train decide to fulfill some steel request. Excellent. Where are you trying to go? You're trying to do iron. That's fine. How much have you got? Not of 1. So it has a train's worth of steel, apparently. Yeah, that looks like a train's worth of steel. Now what I want to know is what you're going to do there. Eventually these will fill up with everything they've got. What I kind of need to know is whether I really need go back to depot when you've got nothing to do. Because a go back to Oh, that's it, using it like a roundabout. Okay, that's interesting. Because these will, these will eventually fill up with everything. So effectively the station will fill up. But it's still saying, you know, limit of 1. Because there's nothing happening to it here, you know. It's just going to fill up and fill up and fill up. Train limit's gone down to 1. So the test case is kind of working, which I'm sort of amazed by. Yeah, some slips like prod modules, basically. Is that... Because obviously you can speed them up with the slugs, but I assume some sloops do a prod module type job. I need to redo the actual blueprint because I've set the chest level in it, so I need to go like that, and like that, and then we need to go like that. Parameterize you, and you are already a parameter. It's not doing the names though, is it? I don't know what I've done wrong there. Does it need to do the names? This is a pickup station, so that's not even one. It's a pickup item. Now, I've kind of hard limited it, so I don't need to do that. But why does it not have? Why did it not? Oh, it's got it there. Okay. So that's 14 pickup. Yeah, 0, coal. Yeah, 0, coal. Cool. So I don't know why it lost the names. I don't know what I did wrong. There you go. And then the yellow belt version. That one. That. You. Again. Naming. Cool. Nice. Have you got names on? You have. You need kind of a downgradey version of that, I guess. I'm wondering about having just, you know, smaller versions effectively. Yeah, the one level 1, 2, 3 belts sort of thing. Because it worked with yellow. I just I could just downgrade the version of it. Yeah. Okay, so we've got the train. I guess we've not technically tested the trains, the fluids version. Do I care? I don't think I can. Some sweeps give prod bonus. Yes, you can use 10 of them in a power augmenter, which gives 500 megawatts and 10% bonus electricity generation. For the context, that's 2 fuel generators. Talking about power slugs, I finished up the sulfur mam tree, which gives rocket fuel and ionized fuel. Rocket fuel, interesting. Ionized fuel is just about powerful enough to get 400 meters of lift in a single tank. Does that mean we consistently unload a full belt? I think so. I haven't really been looking at it. I should have been looking at that properly, shouldn't I? Yeah. It's obviously quite dependent on the stuff coming in. It is also difficult because obviously this isn't actually demanding 8 belts worth of iron plate, so there is a back pressure going on. But yeah, it seems to have worked. What are these trains doing? So you're going to sleep, are you? Okay. You're trying to go to a pickup station. So the question I've got is whether I have a condition that sends them back to the depot. Because this station it's got a train there, but it doesn't have a demand, you see. So I think any train that's here, if say copper suddenly became a demand. Oh, well there we go. Where are you going? So one of the iron plate stations caused it to request a train, and off it popped. So they are going to sit and block stations. But are they doing that in a problematic way? I don't think they are, because say it comes to here. In fact, to some of these must be full. Because the pickup station only turns on when there is demand, like any demand. And the amount of demand it satisfies is based on how much is in the chests, basically. So, which then could cause me stacking issues, which is why I've limited the chests for the future design, and why they were limited there. But once it's full, it just sits here and waits for an iron plate to be demanded. And if there's no demand for iron plate, it doesn't matter that this station is blocked, does it? Because as soon as iron plate demand appears, one of them goes off and tries to fulfill that demand. So here we've got no demand, so if we suddenly switch this up, so maybe we increase this to 4. Obviously the trains are doing things, but hopefully at some point one of them will, because that will have opened up this demand. So the problematic thing, I think, is that this is now requesting 3 trains. And obviously I should have built it with a stacker, but it's requesting 3 trains, even though there's only demand for one. Yeah, there's only demand for 1. I guess I could have a bit of logic between this that says Because now when that goes in here and empties, it should effectively turn off all of the demand. But in the meantime, other trains could have got assigned here. Yeah, so it's even done it there. Because it's done that thing where it's overshot the maths, as it were. So it can do it before. So it works in this tiny test case. What I'm wondering to say is I could have a bit of logic. Did I do all these? I think I did all these, didn't I? In fact, let's just leave them there. I could have a bit of logic that does what? So if we were picking up, you know, the steel. So it could go between here. Or would it go in between there? Basically, it's getting a signal in from oops, from a radar. Yeah, so that's set like that. But what I could do is I could modify this L to say, right, if only one steel is being requested, set the L back to 1, basically. So it effectively, because that's basing it on like the total that's in there, we could say, but if that number's bigger than what's being asked for, don't actually set it to 3, set it to 1. That would still have a lot of trains going to parallel stations, potentially. You know, steel, one demand for steel turns on, my 12 steel stations fire up and, you know, request a train. But at least it's 12 and not 36. Because the other question with it is, what happens with those 12 trains? Does it just go, you know, when this becomes, right, I want a thing again, which train goes to it, basically? So you've got 12 trains sat there with steel in them, or I guess 11, because one of them's fulfilled the order. As soon as it opens up, I want more steel. I guess what it's actually going to do, because those trains are already full, so one of them will fulfill the order and another train will go and replace it. So I'm still going to need a lot of trains, basically. But yeah, I quite like the idea of adding in a step in the middle. Because that's just saying how many trains have we got? What would a condition look like that sets it lower? It'd be a decider later. Probably should have a condition like that, yeah. So what I'd ideally want is like, there's demand for one, send one, you know, it opens up one thing. But that means working with every single station. Oh, this pollution cloud's gone. Looks weird without it. That would need each station to be like communicating with each other. And I don't think it's smart enough, or well, certainly I'm not smart enough to code something like that in the, you know, I could do it in proper coding. I don't know, working around the blueprint, you know, the red and green wire system, I think might cause my brain to melt. Because the other thing I was hoping is that I could work out somewhere because another way of sort of fixing it would be prioritization. But that wouldn't fix it, if you see what I mean, because that would cause it to go to an appropriate station. But all 12, you know, in the theoretical thing where we got 12 steel pickups, all 12 will still turn on. It's just that the trains will go to the ones that are nearest. And the way they've done the logic on the trains is that even if it then turns off, the train still goes there. It doesn't lose the order. I think that's meant. I believe that's the fix they did, because otherwise you end up with lots of stranded trains. So they still pick up that steel. They just don't. They just do it in a particular order. So prioritization doesn't fix that. Yeah, I think I need that condition. Now, let's say, would it be... I almost thought that I had a use for these guys, the selector combinators. And then I realised, nope, they're completely useless still. I did actually watch a video of somebody using them. So what will we be doing? I guess we would be... Well, what is the... I think the condition is what? What do we actually want to do? We're getting a signal in that's L. And we're getting in one that's steel, basically. And that would obviously be a parameterized one. So if L was greater than the amount of steel, we would want to output the steel instead. But it's the input count of the steel. So in other words, if that's 3, and it's only asking for 1, put out... Oh, but we want to put it out as L, don't we? We don't want to put it out as steel. No, but I can change that, can't I? In fact, if I hook it up properly to... Because we can now do red and green independently. So we would be going... We need both. So actually, it's the output of that. It's like going... It's a go-between, basically. So it's the output of that. And then we still want this to be the green. And we get rid of that connection. And what we want to be comparing... Oh! So it's the L is on the green. No. And the R is on the... Sorry, the steel is on the R. And we would output L, but using the number R. It probably won't work that, because it's a bit weird about... You have to use, like, other combinators to change the signal, basically. But if I change... So how many chests can I actually hold it? I keep putting it up and it keeps filling them up. So put that as 5. What are you doing, my friend? So it's now getting an L of 1 request in. Are you outputting anything? No. Is it the right output? It is. Yeah, because it doesn't like you using... Well, you know, I want to use the number, but not the item, and it doesn't like you doing that. For some reason. Yeah, if I put the green, I bet it's fulfilled the request, isn't it? Yeah, here we go. Stop bringing steel. Let's send it back to the depot, and I'll actually kill the connection. Yeah, and we can now set that, and it won't get fulfilled. So we're now requesting 1 steel. What are you outputting? You're not outputting anything. Oh, because there's nothing in the chests. Which is what we would want anyway. Condition... I guess I need the other condition, don't I, as well, that if L is less than or equal to steels, then that's on red. That basically is going to turn Okay, that returns a signal that's always going to be true, isn't it? But if I give it the... No, I can't do that. I need 2 combinate. I hate when they do this. Because I can't then... I can't... I would... Yeah. This is where I go into this thing, as I said before, of... It's like programming, but not like programming. It's kind of painful. Because this should be a selectable if-then-else condition, but I can't do that. You have to do it across multiple combinators, and I just sort of lose the will to live. But yeah, it wasn't working anyway, was it? If we get rid of that... So the green signal is nothing. Because we haven't got anything in these chests. Could put something in the chests to make it have a signal. Turn that off. Let's put a lot more than that. Just random. Get this stuff for the minute. Is that enough? 5.7k, yeah. So we've now got a signal. Test it properly. Hello, Bacon Magician. How are you doing? Now that's a base. I missed this game. I took a break, so I broke up with my girlfriend, and it was hard to be reminded of her. Oh, the factory must grow, and so I returned. I'm sorry to hear you broke up. Your one true love must be the factory, though, so... It's a very weird thing to say, isn't it? Yeah, sorry to hear that, but... The factory will never leave you. Okay. So I've now got an L signal, so I can do this like properly. And what we would want to do, so it's not on the green anyway, it would be the red. But you're not outputting. Why are you not outputting anything? Oh, because they're the same. Would we want that? I guess if we made that a less than, a greater than or equal to. Which is now true. But you're not bothered sending any signal. If I flip that to the green, your output now, yeah. You see this thing, it's like a filter thing, and I don't really know why it does that. I should be able to convert one number into the other without using another complement. But I can't. So we could have a simple one. I guess I could... No, I can't do it with... You can force it, because you can guess it to just do L equals 1. But I don't want it to do L equals 1. I want it to do 2, or whatever happens to be the appropriate number. I want it to do the input count. But I want it to do the input count of the red, not the green. And it won't do that. So the other combinator we would need to have anyway would have the L green signal. And would be less than, be steel, red. So that's the other condition, and it's what we output is different, because that would be the L, wouldn't it? If the L is less than, because the L is the amount we've got, basically, in the thing. So I think that combinator works. I guess that is an equals, isn't it? What would I actually want? Yeah, the greater than needs to be the steel. Wow. So that combinator is fine. It's just that the other one is going to have to pass through a converting combinator. So this is the bit that's wrong to me. Right, so where are we going to put that then? If we do, it'd be exactly the same. We want the red signal and the green signal. It's across, but this time we need to pass it through. Oops. Right, so I'm just copying that over, and I say that would need to be a greater than, so L is greater than that. I guess I could, if I just randomly put rubbish in there, would it give me a bigger L? No. It's just empty. Because this is just an each signal. No, you know, I've not got anything in there that's above 4,000. Okay, that's annoying. Let's go and get some more iron plating. 50 bob. What we got as an L now? An L of 3. That's good. Fewer things are more lovable than numbers. Indeed. I think that's no. So this one should now be going, but it's giving me the 3. Wait. So it's less than R. I thought that was the condition I wanted. So if 3 is less than, so if the amount of stuff in the things is less than or equal to what it's requesting, then you can just give it the same signal. And of course it's not true, so it's not outputting anything. This one though, if it's greater than, what we would want is the R number, but it won't give us the R number. So instead, if we put out steals with your actual number, so this is what we want, but it's not putting it out as an L. We do then, excuse me, we do then, let's just get that to convert anything, I guess each, multiply it by 1, and output it as an L. So there we go. Okay. Yeah, cool. So why it didn't let you do that in the combinator, I don't know. But it does. I mean, I could pass both of them through there. You know, it could have that in between. I guess that's maybe tidier. Because it's only ever going to get, you know, because it's one's a greater than and one's a less than or equal to, both can't ever be on at the same time, basically. So if we take out, this is where doing this in editor is easier. So we take out all of this. What are we getting now? There's no L signal because there's nothing in there. There's only A. Cool. So now we get nothing. Why is that? Now it's less than or equal to. I guess it would be. How can I test that? I'm forgetting the logic basically. So we do need an L, but what we need is for this to be like 7 or something, so that we get an L of 2. No, a steal of 2. So yeah, we've now got 1 train's worth, but it's requesting 2, so it's saying I've only got 1 train's worth. And this one, of course, is outputting nothing because 1 is not greater than 2. 1 is definitely not greater than 2, we know that. Cool. So I think I got there in the end. Problem now is I've got to stick all of those combinators into the blooming thing, because I got 3 versions of that. Is it going to fit in the gap? Have I got room to put it there? I don't think I have. Because this is 3 wide, isn't it? And I've not actually got space for it there. So, if we put, say, what if I just copy that? So this is like the room. This is how we need to fit it in. Yeah, you see, it kills off my combinator. Both of them. But the power only goes. So if we go maybe there and there. The wires are still horribly messy, aren't they? I know they tidied them up. Okay. But it's still horribly messy. That's the other reason I hate combinator stuff. Because I often can't actually see what's connected to what. It's why I'm a huge fan of them. That tweak they did so that you can move combinators and it still keeps the wire connection. That's been a huge help for me because I kind of have to lay them out, you know, with like space. Otherwise I can't tell what's connected to what. Okay. So I think we're now on to about the 12th version of these blueprints. So this is the yellow one. We need to parameterize. It forgets the name. So of course it does. This would be pick up item. Awesome. Do the red one. Trust that. To the top, so that's the one. Item. Oops. Oh, and we go the blue one. We go. Boop. And we go. There. Trust you. So that you got a pickup item. Some sauce. Cool. Drop off. I did the. Oh, that is sorry. That is the pickup. I did the chest limits on that. Okay, I think I'm happy with that then. Was there anything else I wanted to do on the trains? Got the depot. Got the upgrader. Should move them up there for tidying. So, do I do yellow chesticle versions? So that's the blue version. That puts logistics chests on any of them, so it's sort of, I think that should work for these as well for pickup. I'm not really intending to necessarily move things about my bot, but it gives me that option. Yeah, so we want like a yellow. Oh, do I export the string? I should really maybe put these in blueprint books, like the high level ones. So I can sort of tuck them away somewhere. So that's the yellow version. This needs to be the yellow version. Oh, in fact, no. Let's do the yellow version first. So that one there. So we need to pop this down. And drop off items, say, let's just use some random like engines. So we need to yellow belt this, basically. I think, yeah, it's just a downgrade, isn't it? In which case, do I need to yellow? I guess. It's really about the inserters, I think. More than the actual belt. I think that's not taken, is it? Yeah. Okay. So this will be the yellow one. So this will be the very first version of it. So it may not have combinators, but that's fine. It'll just blueprint them in. So we need to parameterize. And that's the parameter. And this is drop off item. And that's a load. Cool. Cool. So if we then just make another copy. So there again, let's do for whatever reason. And at this stage, I guess we would be fully blue. Not that I got any, obviously. I suppose the lads have got any. But then this needs, in fact, if I do it like that. Come in, lads. What are you doing? They seem to have gotten slower. I don't know if I did something silly with the. Maybe I just never noticed because I was just sending them off to do stuff. Cool. It shouldn't. It should ignore the. You know, use the blueprinty one. The ghosty one. Oh, yeah. So don't trust that. Oops! I've accidentally got the Spidertrons. Don't know why. I did that a bunch of. Oh, it's included them. Okay, fine. Did that a bunch of times. Parameterize barrels, and this is item. Cool. Cool. So I think I'm happy. Let's put the two red ones in there. So I don't think those are necessary for the whoops, for that station, but because it would be a simple matter of upgrading them, but it's all fine and good and dandy. Okay, I think I'm happy with that as the train blueprints. What we could, in fact, yeah, we could work on it. Well, we could work on something else. I can't believe much clunkier combinators used. How much clunkier combinators used to be. Who else? What kind of boomer are you? Indeed. So, do I want to? So I did before. I did the whole making more adaptable versions for my snaky bus thing, didn't I? I didn't go as, and I already got the oil one. I'm happy with the oil one. I think. Whatever the problem was, I couldn't like recreate it, so I might have fixed it. I wasn't necessarily. I think these are all fine as blueprints. It's not very upgradable, is it, though? So we could work on that. What I wanted to do was have, like... Because these are obviously endgame versions of the blueprints. I kind of wanted to see if I could do them... do, like, lower versions of them? But I think it's just the same without... Oh dear. My pipe on my air conditioner has fallen off. Hang on. You're going to have to go and fix that because it will be blowing hot air into the room. Where's my button? Hang on. Hang on. Hang on. Hold your horses. Just give me a second. That's fun. It's a portable air conditioner because, well, houses don't really have air conditioning in the UK. So I have a portable one, but it means well, I've tried to arrange it so that hopefully you won't get too much noise from it. But that means it's all kinked up the pipe. So it basically, it's obviously too much twisting, you know, too much torque on it, and it's popped it off. Right, okay, so where do I get to? What I want, what I really, really want, I was fine with that, wasn't I? Yeah. I don't know, I need to think about these, really. So I'm happy with the oil one. It is an endgamey one. The thing with these, you see, I can use them and just sort of take the modules out, basically, or downgrade the modules and what have you. They should work. There is a logic, you know, there is, you know, circuit condition type logic in them. But that should all be fine. And effectively then it's an upgrade path. You know, we can go from having, say, 2 prods and a speed in it or something. You know, I can manually do that, basically. Because I'd only be using that, you know, for the normal oil for a bit. And then, as I say, it's like an upgradey thing. So really I need to step these down so that I can use them to start with. But that's just all, that's admin, basically. So yeah, happy with them. I'm happy with this. I mean, it's a similar sort of thing in that I can kind of just get rid of those. So I think the workers, you know, I could just build it with yellow belt, and then when it upgrades, it'll be your 2 blue belts. Same with that. Would the same be true here? Probably not. So I could really do with like a early green circuit build. What about an early red circuit? Would that? Why have I put them in the order of? Again, I think it works with yellow belt. I mean, it doesn't work in that it's not gonna, you know, have enough material and all that sort of stuff. But if I downgrade, it's not dependent on there being modules and stuff there. That just upgrades it to a higher level of productivity. So I need to do all that, you know, sorting it out. Same here, I think. And by the time you're doing blue circuits, you've got higher level stuff anyway. So I think they're all fine. We've got what I need then, really, I think. Because those are the... I never really got my head around how I might do them. But, you know, for the snaky bus, basically. Okay, I think first order of business is a revised version of the mining blueprint. Have we got one here that I can use? Maybe if I... Oops. And do that. It's not a massive revision, but it just makes it slightly more flexible. So we go like that, then we go like that, and then that's not the repeat unit, is it? The repeat unit is 6 tiles, so it's 6. I could dig out my old one. That is basically what I'm recreating. So that would be that. It puts in more power poles, basically. But it means that they're not quite as dependent on a single power pole. So it's a tiny little revision. So that's that done. What I then need is, I kind of need the lower, you know, like a stone furnace block, steel furnace block, in which case I'm probably going to have to order. Oh, I've got them. Okay. So, okay. I quite like the idea of doing everything with, oh, so much we go about pass-through designs. I start with the 1 million uranium patch. I have yet to exhaust it, but also in my territory I have an additional 37.8 awaiting for me. I really wish they'd used uranium for yellow or white science. Maybe for a Quillen resource like quantum chips or cryoscience. Yeah, there were plans, as I understand it. Well, as you know, uranium. In fact, did we play? I don't think we played on that version. But uranium was supposed to be used in space science, as you know. That's very to. But there were plans for it to be related to Promethium as well in some way. I think one of the ideas, in fact, am I just going to go with the standard boring normal thing rather than my version? Because I've got wooden power pots. Oh, crikey. Must have been planning for this. Let's put you there. Hopefully. Oh, I've got it turned on. That's why I'm not getting it. Yeah, I think the idea was that Promethium would decay. So basically, it would turn into uranium. And but obviously that's not solving your there's too much uranium problem. But it would give you an interesting like logistics challenge for because obviously you could use it as fuel, burn it on the thing, but well, first off, it gives you much more of a time pressure. For Promethium, it's like a double whammy of a time pressure. But it also means you might have to manage excess uranium and sort of do you just throw it overboard or do you keep that as well? Sort of do you power your ships with it rather than, you know, fusion? It's not big enough, is it? Isn't it? No. Yeah, I could revive on this, all of my old ways of doing it, but the blueprints I used to have, I still have, is there was always a concept in them of being upgradable. So this here, the idea of this design, well, first off, it uses my, you know, power poles in the middle to reduce the number of power poles. It makes them really big. But the idea is it also I create space. I have space, and then it's easy to just replace them with the electric furnaces. But in practice, I never actually did that because the place where I'm, like here, like this base, this playthrough, I've got rid of the old smelting. And I don't think I've ever, just kept my smelting throughout the entire thing. Because, by the time you kind of get there, just to put I was in the wrong place. By the time you get there, you know, you've exhausted the patches. You're not actually wanting to keep it. Oops. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna not bother with that. Is that lined up? That's lined up. Sounds fine. But yeah, we could do the classic design, I guess, couldn't we? That a lot of people use. That didn't work. No, let's do it that way. And then, no. Brain no function. Do it that way. And then it would be one connecting to there. Just put a... Let's put that. No, I'll leave it because I always hook these up differently. In fact, maybe I should, because I often do. Whoops. You know, so, and then split off. So if I want to do something like that, move that down one, and then I can hook it up wherever. That's my smelting array. That is right, isn't it? It's not, it is 48. Oh, I've taken it away. Point 31. Yeah, 14.88. Cool, okay. So that would be the normal smelting. If we want to do stone, it's only half, but who cares? So that would be stone furnaces. I guess I could do an upgrade planner, or just use an upgrade planner. So we want to go steel furnaces. So yeah, I think we're okay with that. For steel, I can just loop it back in itself. That's fine. And then this is the one. Why are there only... Oh, because they've got modules in. If we maybe go... Would I replace steel? I probably would. Well, because it's me, I probably would, but other way around. 2, 1, 2, 1, and then that up, that there. Oh, did I just replace them all with? I think I did, didn't I? And I can't undo blueprint changes. Dang. Yeah, I changed them into speed. Oh, fuck. Okay. Okay. Spot the idiot. Oops. Okay, so that's a level 1 modules version. That in there. So That's not a pass-through design though, is it? It's also not consistent. Yeah. So if we make it a pass-through design, and that there, get rid of those two. Yeah. So let's redo that. Cool. And then we would just use an upgrade planner to take that to level 2. With it being mixed. But for this one, that is a pass-through design. It's sort of an upgrade as well, isn't it? Sort of. I think. So if we go... Which way is the belts going? So the belts are going that way. So if I flip that around... And it's not quite matched, is it? Okay, or would I put it on the end? Choices. I think I match the... How many are there? That's the question. We've got 8 and 12. So if I match it on the other end, then it becomes like a plop-down replacement. And obviously I need to get rid of the end. You know, these will become functionless. But then I need to match where the power bars are. That makes sense. I'm sure it doesn't, but I know what I'm doing. Because basically that can then go on the top of that. No, it can't because I'm doing... Ah, okay. I need to take that. Is that the block coming? It must be that. 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 This is... Oh wait, the input. Ah, I wonder if the problem is that it's flopped. Because that's the input there. On the left side. Why is that? That's wrong, isn't it? I think I must have flopped because that's red belt going into yellow belt. Okay. Yeah, I think there's been some flopping shenanigans there. Other way around. No, that is right. Because that's... Oh no, the outputs are wrong. Yeah, I've completely messed this up. But... That's the output side, isn't it? See if they'll flip it for me. I didn't finish that thought, did I? Basically, yeah, there were more intended uses for uranium, but it kind of got a bit like overly complicated. It's kind of my understanding on. Well, I mean, there are Friday facts on it, unless it's not some massive revelation, but I believe a lot of the initial version was kind of too complicated. And so a lot of stuff got reined back. Whether they went too far or not far enough, it's obviously better for debate. So, let's just redo all of these shenanigans. So, you there. Do we know it in the middle? Okay. And then we put you there. So, nice. And then, if they ever come and replace the belts, I haven't turned logistics back on. We would be going, so the input is red, and it is picking up on that side and picking up on that side. Excellent. I think I've sorted it out. Except that that can go. No, I haven't, because that's yellow belt. Oh no, it's going to be replaced with appropriate belt. I think. So now that should sit nicely on top. No, it doesn't. Inserters are wrong, even though I copied them. What? Belts, right? Oh, I've got it a tile off. Oh, that won't help. It's there. Okay. Why is that poking out the end? Should be. It's because that's a yeah. Okay, it does make sense then. Because there should be another one there, but there isn't. Okay, I think that's right then. Made a meal of that, didn't it? Like that, and that's our level 2. Well, it's got level 3 modules in it. Okay. What are you then? You're level 3 modules as well. What are you then? Oh, you're 2 blue belts, aren't you? This is where it upgrades then to blue, I guess. See, what I'm actually wondering, I think I am going to do it, is that really be better putting these down the middle, if we can. So if they were like there, and then these can just be undergrounded appropriately. We would need to make them slightly further apart. Get rid of those power bars just for now. And then do this. It's not going to reach, is it? That's sort of a problem. It's only not going to reach. Because I could use long-handed and then it will reach. So we can make those long. Now, can we fit those in the gaps. We've got 1, 2. We've only got 2 gap there. Didn't work, did it? Hmm. Okay. If instead, because how does it ultimately end up? It ultimately ends up. Well, my like final replacement is this version, where I'm doing the belts on the insides. I'm doing the flippy thing, and I've got extra ones there. I kind of just want, maybe what I should think about more in terms of is downgrading this one. So rather than build, so I could build it like structurally like this to start with, but with those. Yeah, I like that idea. We'll be able to double their workload if they try to integrate all the features, redo them, and also work on space age. Yeah. I think there's a bit more seat of the pants towards the end. Well, full stop than might have been conveyed by the. I think maybe the Friday Facts gave a bit of an impression that it was kind of a bit more planned than it actually was, in a sense. I mean, it wasn't unplanned. It's not quite right, but there were actually Friday Facts that changed things they'd already done when you really look at them. I think that was because they were like doing these play tests and iterating it. And the only one really playing it, I think, consistently a lot was Covarex, which is, you know, what you'd want basically. And that's who you'd want doing all that play testing. But you know, the whole funneling down from this is the enormous version in kind of Erendor's head, in a sense, to the this becomes playable. Well, like Kovic said, how they basically ended up with planets that were just the grind of exactly the same stuff over and over again. There weren't really new mechanics, which means they went through versions where they were like that. They were massive grinds, you know. I'm just wondering if I can literally just downgrade the yellow belts. 2 yellow belts and the modules. Can I do that? The maths goes all wonky, doesn't it? But that's fine. I should get the bots to bring stuff over, really. Or wait for them to do it. It's just that we're so far out on the edge, it's taken them a while to get here. Yeah, it's difficult to know. The other thing we could work on is a new nuclear design. We could do that as well. New nuclear. New nuclear. I know, although I did this, I'm not actually a big fan of it. I think I'll just basically use my old Covarex designs. It was fun to work on it, you know, but I think my because the problem with it is it's very, I suppose it's like, it's a double whammy. It's very constrained by like having the demand effectively. All these machines have just been sat here forever, basically, because there is no demand for the bright green one, which I always forget the name of. 235. Get on it? Yeah. And so this all, it just sort of all fills up basically, and it's just dependent on the occasional one here. But I've had to do a lot of botching together. Like I put in this balancer because, you know, I wasn't using it essentially in the way that I needed to. And it completely ran out the dark green because this was all basically as soon as the Coverx has done its job and converted everything into the 235, there's then nothing it effectively log jams. You know, there's nothing demanding 235 enough for these to actually kick in. Because you know, I'm not doing any. I'm not nuking the biters or anything like that. So yeah. I think I preferred my old design. I think I will revive that, grab it out the archive. What I'm going to do is it's going to be a combination of. Look at these awesome. We didn't get to do any of this. Wall designs. Oh, that's my friend's design. The where is it? Is it that one? Must be that one. I can kind of reuse a lot of this if I really want to. Like all the coal liquefaction stuff. Yeah, I think a lot of it's reusable. Where is he? Oops. Smelting? No, it's not in there, is it? Maybe it's in here with the military bits. Simply rail. Power. Smelting and mining, it's not in there. Where is it? Could probably search for it, couldn't I? Unless, of course, I haven't actually given it a name, in which case it's not going to find anything. Military. Maybe it's in the military one. No? It is a bot-based thing. Plus other. Here we go. So there's your basic processing. Lots of lovely capacity. And then Covrex is a bot-based, and it's like self, you know, circuit controlled basically, or condition controlled. So yeah, I'm going to pull some of these out essentially, and we'll carry them forward. They don't need parameterizing, I don't think. Okay, we finally built this. Excellent. So what I need, I guess, as a reference is, so if this is the final version, and I like that one as well. So it'd be making like a 111 module, and then that's a 3. So we can basically get rid of this one, can't we? Because this is what this is. So I think I can get rid of that one. Put it over there for the time being. This is the red belt, so I need a red belt version, basically. That does have level 3 modules on it. So, what does the red belt version look like? Let's do the same thing. Actually, putting some iron ore in, so I can see the numbers. We will also change. So if we go from 3 to 3 to 2, don't mention it. So, I mean, I assume, hopefully, people have seen. I put out a new video in the law speculation series. This one looking at what is this one? The Fulgurans. First of my videos on Fulgurans, I got quite a few planned on that, as it is a very interesting topic. So, what we need to do if we're doing 2.09 with it. Yeah, they're all the same. It's quite a fun one to do, the Fulguran one. 2.09 times the other way around. But I'm not convinced people have got the joke that was it. So every one of these, I'm just going to say it, every one of these law speculation-y videos, because it's like fundamentally silly in a sense. Because who cares what the law is on Factorio? But you know, I enjoy doing it. It's fun, the spec. But the sort of, as part of that, there's like a meta. The idea of each one is there's like a meta irony or meta joke going on, and I don't know if people have quite spotted the. Maybe they have, and it's just maybe it's so. I mean, it's just, I think it's obvious, but there's a point I'm making about the Fulgurans. Say I'm not entirely sure it's quite coming across. Maybe that's just because I'm a terrible writer, but yeah, there's a kind of a meta joke or a meta point in a sense about the Fulgurans that I don't know that is quite coming across. So it's 15, isn't it, basically? But it's not. It's like 8 on a side. So here we go. 1, 5, 6, 7. So it's bigger is the problem. 2, 3, 6, 7. So I can't do that. But this appears to work. This will fill a red belt with level 2 modules. Okay. So then it's just an upgrade planner. Is the sort of point of that. So then if we downgrade again, I could have kept that. If we do to 1, is that then should then be a did the same thing. Yellow belt maybe? But would I ever be doing a yellow belt? I don't think I would. But let's see now. So is that if that's 1.59. So if we were doing 15, we wouldn't be doing a yellow belt with electric furnaces. But if we were, it'd be 9.5. So it would be like this. They wouldn't fill. I know they would. They'd way overfill it. That would be. So it's only 10. 1, 2, 3. Right. 15. Yeah. So 10. 1, 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12. 13. So yeah, there's way more than is needed for a yellow belt, but I wouldn't ever be doing a yellow belt. If there's 14, there's 14 of them. So 14 times 1.59, 22.26. So if we had level 1 modules in, it's somewhere between a yellow and a red belt, isn't it? I think that's fine. I mean, if I took, say, these out, what does that actually do to the numbers? So it goes down to 1.41 each. 1.41, 14. 19.74, so it's still more than a yellow belt, isn't it? Okay. So if we were building these, it's not quite a red belt, it's the sort of unfortunate thing to it. If we were to swap in the speed, 1.52, what does 1.52 do to the maths? 1.52 times 15, 21.28. So it's worse. Yeah. I suppose it would, well, it's worse but better. Still not anywhere close though, so I don't think that's a... Yeah. Oh, does it not count the modules as a thing? Hmm. So I think we want a version of it that is, you know, level 1 modules, but with the understanding that it's not actually going to produce a red belt until it's upgraded to 2 with the extra ones on the side. We do want one of those just for spacing. And I think also we wouldn't probably be using substations on it. In which case, I kind of need to know where those should be. I think, because if we take the subbies out, then we would have... Yeah, because we'll need them on both sides, it's sort of... Does reach that, doesn't it? Yeah. What are we doing on this side then? With the underground. Oh, that's horrible, isn't it? Hmm. That is horrible. Could redo the entire thing. Could do that there. That. Could then be on that side. This is still off center, isn't it? So we do that. And we end up with 4. But say I want to really put them where the modules need them. Okay, so where are they? Where are you? So do that. Guess I can put this. Easy. But yeah, that's okay. Right, so then that. ideally they will try to get rid of them. There's always got to be one, isn't there? Always got to be one. I guess I could move the world round up. But then to make it kind of symmetrical, should do that. Why did I copy paste? Egypt. So you then go there. It's got to look nice. It's got to look nice. Yeah, we've got the poking out the end problem again. So, need to transfer those tweaks to this one. What? Well, I guess I could. If we go that. Force build that on top. It's a start of a 10. I think that we need to move that for symmetry. This goes, doesn't it? Is that on the right side then? So that would be... No, that one ends up on the wrong side, doesn't it? It's not going to matter. Probably better than... Slightly that. Doesn't quite fill the belt, I don't think. Bit of it that way. Oh well. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. Yeah, it didn't quite fill that. Oh, very annoying. Oh, it's just... Oops. Oh. Have that poke out the end then. The idea is, I mean, I suppose in this version we wouldn't have that one there anyway, because that's the stack inserter, so... Because this is like the red belt version, basically. So we would be going... Oh, I don't want to downgrade the... Just want to downgrade the belt. Let's put it over there. That one. Round. One. Not that there are any splitters, I don't think. Yes, I put out the speculation video about the fog core runs, and I think it's quite good. I think I'm getting okay at these now. It's the last one as well where the mismatch with the frame rates has happened basically, so it should be higher quality of the next videos. Speaking of which, the next ones are the 25th of July, coming out a couple of weeks' time, which is my quick tutorials videos, where I'm trying this new format and seeing if I can do something quick and dirty rather than write a 40-page script and take 12 months to even get close to doing it. I'll have to see. And on that one, even if the material that it's covering is not of any interest to you, it would be very useful for people to comment and basically let me know whether they think the format works, because I'm not at all sure. I'm not at all sure. The next law speculation video, well, it kind of depends on what I want to do, because, I mean, I don't know if you're still there, Peter, but you're like one of only, well, I'm not entirely sure that all the other members have stayed around, but I only have 4 members on the channel, so I'm not exactly disappointing a massive audience if I don't do the videos quite when I thought I was going to do them. It's going to be late, basically, the next one, or late from what I was intending for the member version. I could still, I got plenty of time to do the, you know, do it for like non-members, as it were, the normal one. I don't think that would have to be late, but in order to meet the second Friday of the month, which is my intended day for doing it, that would mean it wouldn't have a month of early access for members. But as I say, I literally have 4 members, so it's not a massive audience I'm disappointing. The other option, obviously, is to delay it and not do it on the second Friday. Basically, work kicked my ass. Just didn't have any time. But also, I got a bit obsessed with other games. So, if this is the first version I do and it has the level 1 modules, it didn't quite actually do a red belt, but that's fine. We can then come along later on, delete all of the poles. So has that ended up being the same as that now? Not quite. Things are in a different place. Do I care that things are in a different place? Not really. We can redo that blueprint. But this is the substation one, and I need to get rid of those power poles, don't I? We don't need them. So they don't know them. No, I need to move. These bits. Well, I guess I don't, in a sense, because I'd be force building over the top. No. It's fine. So that is, if that's like that, line up this. Things. So the bits that are red are the belts. Yeah. So this is version 1. So effectively I'm getting rid of all of these now, aren't I? Keeping that one and that one. I like them. But instead of, so we do stone furnaces, we use upgrade planner to take it to red belt. So that's why I, don't really need stone furnaces doing yellow belt, because we would do it with steel furnaces. And then we come in for this one. Oops. And this is level 1 module, so it doesn't quite do red belt, but it's not far off. Or actually, it is far off. It's only 2/3 of a red belt. I guess I could just combine them, and we'll get a red belt and change. But it's level 1 modules is the point. We could then upgrade the modules, and that would get us like a proper red 2 belt, a level 2 red belt. We've then got this next version, which is the one here. So that's the, if I call it, but in fact maybe we call it that with level 1 modules, except the speed modules in the bacon. And this is like, so that would be 2 belt, that would be 3 modules. I guess technically I don't have a stone one, but that's fine. Yes, stone brick one rather. So we would get rid of the power poles, we would upgrade the modules, that would give us a proper red belt. Oh, well, I guess we wouldn't, we would upgrade the modules first, that gives us a proper red belt. So I need to tile this one is the point. So this is snap to grid. I guess we would have height of 18. I don't know, right? I guess it needs offsetting one. It's relative, isn't it, for one thing? It needs offsetting by 1 vertically? No. It'd be -1, but it won't let me do -1, so it'd be 2. I don't know, right? What have I got wrong then? So it'd be... It would be 21. No? 21 with 1? No. 20. No. 20 with no offset. Yes, there we go. Alright, so it goes... So if it's there... Yeah, that's a tile unable. What are you undoing? Remove the speed module. Okay, whatever. But yeah, so we would upgrade the modules, and it gets more closer to a red belt. We then come along with a second blueprint. We delete. Yeah. We then delete the power poles and replace with this one, but we've got to redo this one because I made some edits. I've got horrible pollution. Why have I got inserted? Cool. We need to edit that one. Oh, That's not right. Guess it's meant to be 51 or 52 even. By 20 was it? And so that one is, where's it gone? There. Perfectly overlapped. Ah, the substations are not in the right place. They would need to be there, there. Ah, we've got some error I haven't fixed previously with the big power poles. So we go like that again. I'm very aware on these streams that it is just like me. You know, they're not particularly. That's why I want to do another proper series rather than this, because it's just me randomly burbling. Oops. I mean, all the streams are me randomly burbling, but at least they're randomly burbling with a bit of a point, knowing what I'm trying to do. Just sort of messing about. It's much better as off-stream stuff, this. In my opinion. Cool. Okay, so I think that's right now. Let's have a quick check. Check quick. Yes. Yes. Awesome. Yeah, it does some weird things with the modules, but does it have level 3 modules in it? No, well, it's got one. Where's it got? What? What have you done there, my friend? We need to get that fixed. So we need to go from. Oops. One. Oops. One. Oh, I guess it won't let me do that because it's. The upgrade is from itself to itself, so. Like that. So let's go 1 to 3. 2, 3. That. Grab that. Group that. So now we have only modules. We've still got 10. Get rid of them. Filthy heathen things. I'm puzzled why we've got 57 inserters. That feels like I've missed something. Because we've got 20 of them, so we don't have 56 inserters. Is what we should have. But we do not. Why not? I cannot see random extra inserter. So they've got 2 each, 2 each, 2 each. We know that that one has 2 plus the green one. 2 each, 2 each, 2 each, 2 each, 2 each. 2, 2 plus the green one. 2 plus the green one. 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Ah! You have an extra inserter. Okay. Is that something that he's changing on here? No. That would be from when I changed it before. Okay, cool. So we should now have 56 inserters, 4 extra to try and fill in gaps. Okay. Okay, so I've got all of my basic production. I've got oil. As I say, I kind of need a simpler version of that. Maybe with regular power poles on it. But that's fine. Well, I could kind of do that, couldn't I? If I go copy it. No, oh, it's an export. Do that. So get rid of the bacons. And we would have maybe. I want to try and do the maths. Well, if I do that. So the control thing is just the control thing. That's fine. I'm going to get rid of them. I have so many junk blueprints. It's horrible managing them. Where was I just dumping them in here? That didn't feel right. No, that's the proper archive. Oops. This one. Maybe. I don't know. Yeah, get rid of that one. Boop. 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 Get rid of that one. Boop. Boop. Yes, so this is the control thing, which is just the control thing. I guess there's the point is, you know, it's modules or what have you, but that's only beacons, but it's a relatively easy and simple fix. And then this is the one we put down to start with, so we need to get rid of or swap out your beacons, sorry, your modules. Yes, if I just go, say, something like that, don't really matter because they get and then that, maybe put a 3 on there. It's rather helpfully. It like replaces them when you do the overlay. Yeah, force builds. And then I could just use an upgrade planner to take it up to level 2, and then we'll use the actual new blueprint to whack in all the beacons and go for broke. Cool. I guess it should have regular power poles really, shouldn't it? Let's do that as well then. I could also check whether it tiles. So we get rid of these. Why are these not complaining about not having electricity? That's interesting. I wonder if that's because they're circuit connected. Where can I slot one in for this? I guess in there. I don't know that that would tile and have, you know, the power pole connections. So we go like that, that. Let's test it out. Over there. And the pipes seem to be connected correctly. Oh no, they are. Look, we have got power connection. Cool. They're close enough. Excellent. So happy with that. And then we would come along and do a wholesale rip and replace. Does the modules as well. Sticks all the beacons in. Job is a good one. What it probably doesn't have, thinking about it, is your green wire connections. Oh, that's going to go through them. Because what would they? I mean, the machines are connected to each other, but they're not passing the signal along. So if this is the starting point is this, and this connects like that. I guess, as I say, I kind of need a version that is like earlier. Yeah. Because we need to push this signal down. I only need to connect one of the machines, didn't I? So if that's the wire connection, then I think that's okay. But that needs connecting together like that. And then these need connected to that. These need connecting. Where did I connect it on this one? It's to the top machine now, okay? Top chemical lab. Can I just copy paste that? Need to get rid of these. So yeah, I need a version of this that is regular power poles. Cool. And then I need a version, because that has the connection to the bottom one. So that's what one of the things that's missing. Needed to be the bottom power pole. But that one doesn't tile then, does it? That power pole. Oops. Because if that copies to there, that power pole's in the way. Okay. So this actually needs to be here. So that needs that to be copied in again. And then this. Yeah, it becomes kind of horrible that because of these extra pipes here. So what would I need to get rid of? I would need to get rid of... So these are the ender pipes for the ones that come down. So if we get rid of... Now you see I've messed that up. There we go. That. No, we want that one. Again, ender pipes, ender pipes. Don't need you. Hopefully that's right. So we would, in fact, then need to get rid of that bit, otherwise I'll accidentally capture them. Dear me. So we go. So test out whether it tiles. It's okay with that one. Seems to. Okay. We've got And that one's the upgrade version. And I didn't change anything other than the power poles, so I think we're okay. So, we have got my snaky bus build with my I still don't quite understand how to integrate chemicals into it. We've got then, oh, did I redo this? I can't remember whether I did or not. I remember redoing the blue versions, and that's a simple requesty, isn't it? Did I redo this one? Hello, Crackerlackin. It's a great username. Hello, how's the factory going? Yes, it's going well. I'm afraid you joined in 10 minutes before closing, but yeah, it's not doing too bad. This is the end. I mean, I should have done this myself, and I should have started my new series. But this is like the end of the series where I'm working out how to do parameterisation. Staggeringly, I seem to have made a train system that works as a generic thing. It will almost certainly get clogged with far too many trains, but I'll have to see. But it kind of worked, and the bug fixing was very minimal. What's a random thing to put in? If we do copper cables or something. So what is this? Because I don't. Can I now set these via parameterisation? Does that fix what I was fixing? Because this is each is coming from. Because this is reading the contents basically. And setting the. I should turn the power on, shouldn't I? And then it will do something. But welcome to the stream. I didn't say hello properly. Doing well. Just stopped playing Factorio myself. Starting a Pyanodon's run. Crikey. The brave and the good. Oh, it's closing time. Pretty much. I mean, I usually do 4 till 7 UK time, so 10 minutes or so left, but I'll still be here for 10 minutes or so. I know you should blather on at the end anyway, so you might get half an hour out of me. Pyanodons, eh? I think I might give Pyanodons a go. I've reached that stage of madness. So yeah, it's doing the 10 because it's basically multiplying this each condition, everything it wants there. Up. So if I do another one with a more complex recipe, so if we do say engines or something, then now it's requesting pips and gears and steels and all sorts of lovely things. But what I'm wondering is, can I parameterize that instead? So if we do say, which would be the parameterized bits? Because if we keep each, can I flip it? Each is greater than 0. Can I just use a... Let's put this down again with engines again. And then, because what I might be able to do is... Where's the mathsy one? Arithmetic combinator. Because can we... I don't think I can, is the point. So basically what I'm trying to do there, and then out for each. Oh, not by 0. Cool. So that just feeds them through. What I want to do is parameterize that. And I don't think I can do that. If I set that to some utterly random number so I can recognize it. 1, 2, 3. Oh, crazy. Was that? Oh, thank you very much for the subscription. Very kind. It's fun. Do people usually play? I mean, just maybe playing it on turns. I don't really know. I know I've seen Rhaegar doing it on his, his streams, but I don't think I've ever seen anyone else do it. It's utterly mad. Did Dosh do it? I don't know, but I don't know whether it has whatchamacallit. Let's parameterize that. Enemies, basically. Do people play with enemies on? So that's the 1, 2, 3 that I'm trying to parameterize. It looks like I can. Ah. So if that was also the parameter, what's the 100? If that's less than 100. Why am I trying to... What am I trying to achieve then? I guess what I would... Because I'm not setting a value on this at all, am I? I'm just literally asking for how many. So a simpler tweak would be... Oh, it is it's parameterized, but doing maths. So how might that work? Because it appears I can set that. Then we actually do it rather than say it appears and all that sort of stuff. So if we say this was parameterized and probably just test or something. So do that. Pop that blueprint down. It asks me how many I want, for example, if we set that to 7, utterly random, then yeah, it puts in a 7 there. Okay. So what would be the problem? One of the problems would be, so if I set that to a number that, ended up requesting, like a rocket silo, and I set it to 12 or something because I'm silly. I guess the point is don't be silly. But if I set it to 12, then it would request far more steel and what have you than would fit in the chest. Okay. This was where I had the problem last time, didn't I? Did I actually? Because I spent literally an hour last time. In fact, more than that, I think. Messing about with the fact before it turned out that the tooltip is wrong. Because PNR is not the crafting time. It's the rocket silo. Rocket stack or rocket capacity or something. And that's a known bug that's been there for ages. A bit like this being red, even though it's a valid formula. No, the recommended setting is without enemies. Okay. It's more about the logistics challenge than the nuisance of enemies. Okay, cool. Good to know. I still need to continue. Police Politics, how you doing? Welcome, welcome. I still need to continue it. The mod is the enemy. Yeah. If it's enemyless, then I actually find that more appealing. Or, the recommended is without enemies. I think that's more appealing. Because I think this has been, I think I've said this a few times, but because this is a rail world, which is why we're not getting attacked in my view. But I think there's too little. For me, for normal type playthrough, I need the enemies to be there, even if I turn them down and what have you. But for if it's it's one of the, it's like SpaceX. I think if I did SpaceX again, there is that difficulty that there's the whole pyramids with enemies in them, which is meant to be a challenge thing, but I think I'd probably end up turning, or maybe setting the biters on passive or something like that, maybe. Because I didn't really enjoy having to do all the combat. and the complexity of SpaceX. Well, complexity, the grind of SpaceX. What am I trying to look up? I'm getting lost. It is the end of the stream. So here, what was the less than 20? We know it's a formula anyway. That's the stack size, isn't it? So whatever I'm requesting, it's asking for, it's setting it as double the stack size. So the question really is, can I change that too? Can I parameterize that too? How would I parameterize that too? I think in this one I wouldn't, because I can't. If I could add on, you know, an extra row here, then I could probably make it work, but I can't. That didn't let me do that. So I can't turn that into, I guess if I knew the Unicode, maybe I'd be able to stick it in, but let's not think about that one. And then what would it do? It would just have a parameter without a value. So that's fine. I can't do that one. But this more complicated green one, where I'm putting combinators in, it will let me set that even though it's just a number. It's not some recipe or what have you. Okay. So where does that get me? What that gets me is that I could have it ask for that, but then I could set a min. I could set it around a min, basically. I could use a min or a max or a min and do the same thing and say, right, if he asks for 12, and that means 1,200 steel and, you know, all the six ingredients for a rocket silo, and would overfill a chest, don't do that and set it as something else. So I could do that type of formula. Okay. And all it's doing is multiplying. It's a nice simple, just one-step thing. So I don't need these 10 things to add it up, which I then come and change. Okay. So depending on what it is, I can set it as a variable thing, basically. I already know. But is there a way I could use that in the stack size? So effectively, I could abuse the system, I think. So, were you reading? Oh no, it's set on the machine. Read ingredients, yeah. So if it becomes an arithmetic combinator, doing arithmetic, then, because we know that's there, if we blueprint this one then, well, what I have to do, don't I, in order to get it to do lots and lots of things, so we do have to actually have this be rocket silo. I always forget where it is in this. So we need to make some of these unique numbers as well, so we can work out which ones, so 167 or something. So I can find them in, or it separates them. That one would be silo. Cool. That one, I guess. I was going to get rid of them, wasn't I? I didn't like them. I think maybe if we turn that to anything, and then we're going to do the same thing there. Would that be in everything? It's already given me a green. Wait, oh, there's nothing in there. Why are you giving me an every? Oh, I guess because nothing's in there. It thinks that's in everything. Don't like that. We set that to an anything. So these two indicators give us a very rough guide to say, yeah, there's something in that chest. So in other words, if I literally put one of them in, yeah, we get a green. Cool. Okay. Group assigned. Why aren't you getting any signal? Enable disable. Why is that suddenly not working? Oh, because I haven't actually set the recipe. Idiot. Yeah, so you see, if you put that on 7, puts them so high that it would overflow the chest. So we need a min conditional. I've used the number 7, and that's unique to whatever I set this to, 167. Cool. So if we blueprint this one now, and we parameterize, so we know this one needs to be a parameter, and we give it the name. So this is to make. Oh no, I give it the things, don't I? So that if I know which it's setting. Don't think it matters with this, does it really? This is make. And then the 167 was the stack size based number. So what I want to do, you see, I want to abuse the system, turn that into a parameter, and we'll call it a variable, because we want to request this basically. Why has it? Oh, because it's a formula. Maybe it doesn't like that. If I put that in there, is it going to ask me for it? So this would be num stacks, or maybe I put it as the num items, number I want. No, num stacks, I think. So the number of stacks of that. Obviously, it's got 7 at the moment, but it's not parameterized it like a thing. This may not work. What was 167? That was the stack size, wasn't it? So that one does need to be a formula. I'm not going to be... Am I going to be able to use a formula? It's not giving me the actual parameter. Where is the 0? Oh, those are just the lines. Okay. So, P0S. So I don't think this is going to work. Trying to be too clever. Because it won't let. Why won't it let me change it this time? It did before, didn't it? But this was going to be. I say it's not going to work, is it? Because it's 7 times P. Let's give it a go then. Oh, I clicked out of that. So that would be making this is parameter. Let's not do the formula bit. So this is num stacks, and then this one was going to be a formula, and it's 7 times. It's not going to work because it doesn't know that that's a parameter. So hit the confirm. So if I go there, it does work. Ooh. 2. Does it work? We'll see. What's it put on the request? 2000. It does work. So it knows it's a parameter without putting in the parameter symbol. And it's changed the maths on it. Is that right, or am I going mad? What have you put? Oh no, that's stuck as 7. So which bit has it done as a parameter? I think it's because that's a solid one, isn't it? So this is letting me set the number of request items. It's not letting... Maybe if I put it as a... I mean, that's fine. That is useful. That is an improvement of what I had before. Because a lot of them I had that list, it was effectively requesting 10 times as much, and then I would come in and change it down to 2 by deleting some of those conditions. So that is a useful, bonus, as it were. But this is just the number 7, so it doesn't know what that is. But we can do a calculated one, like we did on the other. If I can remember how the heck I did a calculation. So what did I do? I ended up doing the minimum of 3 stacks, or the craft time basically, or the time. Yeah. So I think that's an item one though, isn't it? And I'm just literally setting. I would like to change the stack size if I can. At the number of stacks, as it were. How would I get it to do that? How would I get it to do that? It's not going to be you, is it? So it's this here. I'm wondering if can I literally just tell it that that's a parameter? Is that going to break things horribly? So it knows it's a parameter now. Times 2. I don't... I want that to be the same parameter, though, don't I now? Because I want the number of stacks of things it's requesting to be the same as stacks of items that I want. So if that's 2 there... In fact, if I just put it in as 9 rather, what do you do? What do you do? Let me parameterize you like that. So it's the same. So, item, stacks. Now the 0. But I can't call it a formula now. What does it do? Let's just nearly cancel that. What's it do? So it asks me for the item. Rocket silo. Num stacks. Oh, it's a number though. Because it's a parameter. It's trying to... It wants me to put something in. Okay. Don't think this is quite what I'm after, is it? Because that's just the signal for, rather than the number for. Yeah. No, that's not right, is it? Because we don't want signal for. Doesn't look like I can cheat the system. Oh, crikey, it's 7:10 already. So that was that one. Feels like it can be done. But yeah, I've been going a bit too long now. I've lost the plot. Yes. So let's pop the schedule up. What I need to do basically is like finish this, because what I want to do next week is start my next series, which will be switching over to Space Age and essentially carrying on the same principle. So we're not going to reuse this base. We'll start again, and it give me an opportunity to test my snaky bus, and kind of, you know, build up from there. But then when we get to doing Space Age things with Space Age machines, because everything's better in space, we'll be able to parameterize EM plants and foundries and blah 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 blah, because I've got a better understanding ish of how it works. I've also now hopefully got a generic train system. It obviously does not incorporate elevated rails, so there is no, you know, elevated rail element to it. I don't think it needs it. I think, you know, elevated rails going to be useful, obviously, Fulgora and all that sort of stuff. But Fulgora, I've never gone past the point of doing, you know, point-to-point rail, basically, on Fulgora, really. So having blueprints with elevated rails is sort of not really needed, but I can also obviously make them and see how I get on. So yes, the intention then, next week, is to try and start a new Space Age series. That is dependent on me, as I say, kind of bringing as many of these things that I built in this game into the blueprint so that I can then just carry them forward. I think I've got most of what I want. I mean, I've got the snake. I haven't got, as I say, like a basic version of like green circuits and red circuits and, well, no, the red circuits and blue circuits won't work, but the green circuits, I need a bit of an earlier version of that, I think. It's very much based around max beaconing and max moduling. So it's not going to work at all for lower levels. And we need billions of green circuits. So I think that one's one that's missing. I'm happy that I've just got the smelting. I said a rail network. I guess I could do the 111 blueprints. I'd want to do it with enemies on. I'd probably do the same thing. I'd do a rail world, but I'll make actual enemies like have an expansion, but slow it down maybe. And we can play through that. I'd thought about doing it as a road to 1 million. That seems to be what everyone calls these 1 million bases, but that's obviously the next mega base thing for Space Age. Really, is the million size base. So I don't think I will actually do that though. I think it'll focus more on the parameterizing things again. So almost continuing it. Yeah, so that's the plan for that series. And what I would do is almost certainly do both days, and probably do both days for a little while. So it'll be Saturday and Sunday doing Factorio. Because I'm not going to retire the Satisfactory series. What I need to do is find some time and do the grind I've been talking about. So building up, you know, more production. You know, I for example, I didn't, you know, last week we set up the nuclear. I have not expanded that to be the 4 nuclear power plants. It's still just the 1. And I need to find the time to do that sort of stuff so that I'm in a bit of a position where I can just focus on the actual elevator parts, building them. Because I want to move, I want to do trains. I don't need to do trains. You can do it all with belts, but I want to do trains, and that requires a lot more infrastructure than I've set up. And I don't fancy do it. Well, I could. I mean, I could do it on stream, but I don't fancy doing it on stream. So yes. Okay, cool. But tomorrow we will be doing Satisfactory, and as I say, I will probably be adding on that nuclear. I might start some of that. I might do the blueprints or something for that train system that I've been thinking about. Maybe work out how that would work. yeah, it's really about me grinding out. Because what I've been doing so far with Satisfactory really is just the whole botch it together and see how quickly we can do it. And what we need to build now needs scale, and scale is not possible with what I built. So yeah. But yes, I will return tomorrow at 4 o'clock. Satisfactory, and the plan for next week is the Space Age series where I'm parameterizing. To note, if you're watching on YouTube, then you can also watch on Twitch. If you're watching on Twitch, you can also watch on YouTube, because I use Restream to stream to both. YouTube, however, is the only one with VODs. So all of the VODs are archived on YouTube for this series, for the Satisfactory, for the other series I've done, as well as my whole archive of Friday Facts videos, which again, I say this every week because I am slightly surprised by it, but people do seem to enjoy going back and watching them. I even get comments on them, sort of thing. So they're all available for you to watch. And you will also find my kind of follow-up to that, which is a whole series of lore speculation videos. The third one of which just went live on Friday. Intention is to have one of those out per month. Like second Friday of the month. The next one is almost certainly going to be late because work kicked my bum and I did not manage to get the edit done. I was working on that all morning, so yeah, might be late, or I'll just chop off the member early access, because on YouTube you can also get membership. You can join as a member, which gives you early access to the videos. I guess technically I've never said it is definitely a month of early access, but that's what I'm trying to go for. But yes, so if you're a member, you get early access to videos. And the next ones you'll get or you've already got early access to, are the quick tutorials that I'm doing. So those are Factorio quick tutorials. And I would very much appreciate, even if the content is below you, as it were, beneath you, feedback on whether it works, whether it's a format that's like watchable, and me bibbling on is is doable. They're more in line with how a lot of people do tutorials on Factorio, where it's just they ramble and then edit it down. I personally prefer edited videos, but you know, they are a lot quicker and easier to do. If you want to follow me on socials, then Blue Sky's the one. That's the only one I really post on, and I don't really post on that. There's also Twitter and Discord if you wanted to follow. So there we go. I guess the other thing I could do is something like a parameter. I know because Rhaegar did put out the Crash Storio 2 update for version 2 of the game, so I did think about going for that. But I've not really played, you know, I've not played Space Age enough really, so I think I need to continue with that. So if you have been watching, I hope you've enjoyed it, and you might consider coming back for another. I've been Trismegistus. This has been Factorio. Thanks for watching. Cheers.